A shrieking toddler, a rejected toy, and a parent who is completely out of patience. We have all been here. When faced with this chaos, our immediate, desperate instinct is to make the noise stop. We offer distractions, we promise treats, or demand they quiet down. Dismissing the emotion or ordering a child to stop crying usually backfires. If a child doesn't feel heard, they just get louder and louder until they are. Silencing the room leaves the child's internal crisis unresolved. It communicates that their feelings are invalid and annoying, ensuring they need more support from you in the future. To understand why quick fixes fail, we have to look past the outward behavior and examine what is actually happening inside their head during a tantrum. This highlights the child's prefrontal cortex, the center for logic and emotional regulation. In young children, it is unfinished and disconnected from the active emotion centers. Because the structure is incomplete, they lack the neurological equipment to calm down independently. It's a physical system failure. This is a biological crisis. The child is trapped by their own anatomy, flooded with stress, and missing the tools to escape. Since the child is missing the biological tools to turn off their own alarm, the adult in the room has to step in and bridge the gap. We do this through a process called co-regulation. Instead of demanding that a child find a sense of calm they do not possess, we allow them to borrow our mature, regulated nervous system. You initiate this physically. You take deep, visible breaths. You drop your shoulders away from your ears. You maintain an open, non-threatening posture. A child in distress is highly attuned to their environment. Their erratic nervous system will subconsciously detect your physical cues and begin to synchronize with your steady biological rhythm. Regulation begins within your body. Anchor your emotional state first, providing stability for them to follow. Once you are anchored, the next required step is verbal validation. You name the specific emotion they are feeling out loud, whether it's anger, sadness, or disappointment. Simple validation signals to the nervous system that the threat has passed, allowing the brain's intense fight or flight response to finally subside. This chart is the window of tolerance, a baseline for safely processing emotions. During meltdowns, a child's data spikes into hyperarousal. Your calm presence acts as an anchor, dragging chaotic reactions back into this safe zone. Cortisol is still circulating. It takes time to leave. Sitting patiently in the emotional storm allows that chemical process to finish. Rushing to fix the immediate problem interrupts this, keeping the brain in a state of dysregulation. Once the biological storm has completely passed and the child's brain has returned to a logical state, you can finally address the initial problem or enforce the boundary. Many parents fear that sitting with a child through a meltdown is coddling or rewarding bad behavior. In reality, every time you co-regulate, you are actively constructing new neural pathways in the child's developing prefrontal cortex. The repetitive act of borrowing your calm physically builds the architecture their brain currently lacks. That co-regulation directly translates into their ability to self-regulate as adults. Parenting a child through an emotional storm requires holding space and sharing your calm, rather than rushing toward a perfect solution.